morning! It's day 3 of the stay home reading rush. My hair looks kind of crazy. It's currently 8:42 in the morning. I actually went to sleep pretty early last night. For some reason, I was just so tired, but I feel kind of refreshed and renewed, and it's Saturday, so that's good. I'm telling you, in this quarantine, I'm completely forgetting what day it is every single day. It's so dark and rainy outside today and icky, and oh, it's days like this that I'm glad that I'm still in the house. So what's on the agenda? Well, I have pancake mix now, so I'm gonna have some breakfast, make some pancakes, maybe do a workout first because I haven't done that in days. And I should really get back on that and get back to doing some reading. So I will see you in a little bit.
Ah! Whoops.
It's me again, much later at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So what I've been doing so far is not a lot. I listened to more of my audiobook of Eleanor Oliphant. I started editing the video for the last 2 days vlogs. I think I'm going to split them into 2 sections. So I'll be posting days 1 and 2 as one video, and then 3 and 4 as another video. Along with that, I was doing some prepping for my D&D campaign today. I read a little bit more of the handbook. Since the majority of the players have never played D&D before, besides our dungeon master, we decided to do a theme of amnesia, where none of us know our characters' backstories, what we look like, what race, class, etc. we are, except our dungeon master, and we figure out all of these clues along the way in order to discover our identities. And it's really fun so far, and even under these circumstances, we found a way to play it together through video chat, and it's a really good time. That's going to be in an hour, and usually we play for about a few hours, so that'll take up a chunk of my time. In the meantime, it's lunchtime, and I'm just heating up leftover pizza in the oven along with some fried calamari, aka calamad to all my fellow Italians. And while that's heating up, I'm going to be reading Lock and Key. Oh, it's been so long. I'm so excited. I don't think I mentioned yesterday what Lock and Key is about, if you don't know. So it's a 6-volume graphic novel series by Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez. And it's about 3 kids who all are a part of the Locke family. And tragically, their father is murdered, and after the fact, them and their mother moved to their father's childhood home, Key House, in the town of Lovecraft. And in the house, there are a bunch of mysterious keys that have different magical abilities that the kids can use, but only the kids can see the keys and see its magical powers. Adults cannot. That's the main premise of the story, and then there's this big bad guy trying to steal all the keys and control the world, and yeah, but there's so much more to it. There is some mature content in the graphic novels. There's a lot of gore and swearing and drugs and sex and all that kind of stuff. So even though they're comic books, they're mature comic books, and I don't recommend anybody under the age of like 13, 14 to read them. That's just me. I'm sure if you were a parent, you probably want your kids to be older if they were reading them, but I really like them. Here's an example of the art style. Pretty cool. That's it. So I'm gonna be reading this. Probably get back to you after my D&D campaign. Woo!
And they're like, oh my god, thank you for not killing. I don't know.
What? We can't metagame it. We gotta live with our actions, man.
I know, he's almost dead.
My dagger's possessed! Well, that was fun. I learned a lot more about my character this session. It was a little bit longer than the last session we had, about 3.5 hours. I have multiple pages of notes. That is it for today's D&D session, and now I'm gonna have dinner and then keep reading. Guess what? It's 10:15 p.m. and I finished a book! Yay! I finished Lock and Key! I finished it! It's really not a big feat. It's a comic book, and it was only like 150 pages, and I read it all on my couch. I reread it on my couch. After playing Dungeons & Dragons, I went back downstairs to hang out with my mom for a little bit, you know, eat dinner. I read all of Lock and Key in that sitting, and then we just came upstairs to bed. I have not listened to any more of Eleanor Oliphant, and I have 1 day left to finish it. I'm currently halfway through the audiobook. Not sure if I'm going to be able to finish it, but I think if I listen to it really fast, then I can get there. But I'm honestly so exhausted again. It's because I have 2 glasses of wine. I'm telling you, man, people are drinking more than ever in this quarantine situation. It was really good wine. It was really good. Red wine, my favorite. Cabernet. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed. maybe listen to my audiobook a little bit more, maybe edit my vlog a little bit more. I have a ring of chapstick around my face. That's so cute. I think that's it for me tonight. I will see you tomorrow for the last day of the reading rush. Bye! Good morning. It's the last day of the stay home reading rush. It is currently 9:30 in the morning and I'm waiting for my pancakes to reheat in the oven. So I didn't get any more reading done last night after I signed off. I actually just finished editing my video for the first 2 days of the reading rush, which I'll probably be posting today. But I have the whole day to finish Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine, so I'm excited about that. This reading rush has definitely not been what I expected it to be, but it's been really fun. I've been having a great time. It's been something to keep my mind off of everything going on. So I really appreciate it. Raylene and Ariel, you guys are great. Also, a little shout out, today is the last day to get the special edition bookmarks for the Stay Home Reading Rush, and all the proceeds are going towards indie bookstores, so you should definitely go check that out. Oh man, never mind, even though I'll be posting this video after the fact, but if you know, you know, and you're gonna do the thing. All right, I'm gonna go eat, take a shower, and get to work. Okay, talk to you later. Hi, it's me. So it's many hours later. It's 7:47 p.m. and I haven't talked to you since this morning. Sorry, vlogging has just been a lot harder than I thought it was gonna be every single day. Like, it's different from just sitting in front of a camera and talking to it for a few minutes and being done with it. It's your video recording every moment of your day, or at least the parts that are the most interesting. And right now, being at home, there's not a lot of interesting stuff going on. I was really diligent and really good the first couple days of this reading rush, and now I'm a poop head. And I've been wasting most of my time today. I took a nap, I uploaded my day 1 and 2 vlog, I entered today's Instagram challenge, and then also here's yesterday's Instagram challenge as well. And I also started watching Too Hot to Handle because I have no self-respect. If you don't know, it's this new reality show on Netflix. They're really chugging out a lot of them right now, and I have nothing else to do. Actually, that's a lie. I have schoolwork to do, but no, I'm gonna pretend that's not happening right now. Now I'm finally getting back to listening to my audiobook. I am 75% of the way through. Am I gonna finish this book before midnight? We shall see about that. I'm enjoying it a lot more. I'm listening to it with the speed on really high right now so I can finish it before this stay home reading rush ends, but if that doesn't happen, it's okay. Oh well. I tried my hardest and I had fun doing it, you know? Well, that's a lie. I could have tried harder, but I did as much as I thought that I was capable of in the moment. That's a good excuse. Anyways, it's almost dinner time, so I will eat. I'll get back to you. I'm probably gonna go upstairs after dinner to do the rest of my reading and just hang out for hours listening to an audiobook, maybe alternating and reading the physical copy of Eleanor Oliphant so it breaks up the monotony. We'll see. Also, I think there was one missing clip from day 1 and 2's vlogs that didn't make it in that I am going to find on my laptop, and if I do, I'll insert it into this vlog. It's essentially just me talking more about Wilder Girls before I DNF'd it, to just give you more insight into why I wasn't really getting into it in the moment. That being said, I'll get back to you in a little bit with the small amount of time I have left during this reading rush. Okay, so me and Baby Yoda are reading Wilder Girls, and I have things to say. It's not that it's a bad book, it's not that I'm not enjoying the book, but I feel like I'm not that big of a fan of the writing style so far, and here's why. A lot of the time I feel like Rory, the author, is trying to be really deep and poetic with the way she says these things, but ultimately they come off boring to me and not that interesting. And the majority of what's going on is exposition. This is what's going on, and then we went here, and then we went there, and then we did this, and this is why we're here, and this is the relationship I have with these people. There's not much depth to it besides telling the reader what's going on instead of showing them. And also, I don't feel like there's a lot of character development going on. And I'm not saying we have to have these fully fleshed characters right out of the gate, but I don't really feel like I know them, and I'm like 50 pages in, and I feel like they're very one-dimensional, don't know a lot about them. They all feel the same to me, except like these small archetype qualities to them. Like the main character, Hetty, she is the main girl. That's really all I know about her. Then one of her best friends, Byatt, she's like the popular girl. And then there's Reese, who's the tough girl. There's not really much behind them. Like, yes, we know some backstory behind their families, but it's not a lot. So it's really hard for me to feel for them and be engrossed in the story and feel for their situation when I don't really have any compassion toward these characters yet. What's really holding me in is the story, the plot, what's going on. This talks, that's what it's called, that's going on at the school. So I misinterpreted. It wasn't that they were stranded on this island, it's that their school actually is located on this island, and somehow this tox broke out, this kind of disease, and now they're all quarantined. That's the kind of stuff I'm really interested in, and what's beyond the gate and in the forest and those animals. And I don't want to say a lot without spoiling, but I mean, I'm not that far into it, so. But I just wanted to share my feelings right here for posterity, I guess. I also have this journal I've been using since close to the beginning of the year in 2020. I've essentially been using it as a paper form of Goodreads, but also writing down my notes and thoughts about what's going on in the books I read. Usually when I mark the books I read on Goodreads, I don't give them a review, I just give them a star rating, so this is a good way of keeping track of what I thought in the moment of the books I read. If you can see, oh, here are my notes for Chain of Gold. So it has the date you started, the date you finished, the star rating you gave it. As you can see, this is where I started The Hobbit, but I never really got into it. But here's Chain of Gold, and then it has plot notes, character notes, favorite quotes, and other books to read by the author. Of course, there's the title and the author name, but it's really nice. It's very well organized. For this specific entry of Chain of Gold, since I had a lot to say, I continued my notes to the back of the book, where it is notes, ideas, and observations, and here are the rest of my notes on Chain of Gold. Not this. These are audiobooks I want to check out, but this is the rest of my notes for Chain of Gold. This is great. That was a great book. Yeah, but right now, between Eleanor Oliphant and Wilder Girl, the books I'm reading I'm not super excited about. That's kind of disappointing, but I'm gonna keep chugging along. If I DNF either of the books, I'll let you know, but right now it's too early for me to tell. But that is my update of what is going on. Okay, side note, for some reason, I think Raymond, the main male lead in the book, I don't know if anybody's watched the Lizzie Bennet Diaries. If you haven't watched it, it's great. It's like a video diary version of Pride and Prejudice and is on YouTube. But then there's another video diary series called Emma Approved, which is an adaptation of Jane Austen's Emma. And in that series, the guy who plays, oh god, what's his name? The guy who plays the poor man who's in love with Elliot? The poor man who's in love with Harriet. He plays the IT guy in Emma Approved. And when I think of him, that's who I think of Raymond as. And it might just be because they're both IT people and that's the guy I picture in my brain, even though they look basically nothing alike. I just thought that was funny. And then when I think of Eleanor, I don't know, even though I know that she just turned 30 years old, she reads really old to me, and I don't know if that's the character or the narrator of the audiobook that makes me think that. So it's odd to have me picture her next to Raymond because you can see that they're becoming potential love interests right now, but I can't picture it between them. I see it on the page, I can feel it, but I can't picture it. That's just a side note. And back to Eleanor's character. Yes, even though she's not the most self-aware person or the kindest at times, it's definitely understandable as to the hard shell she has around herself because of the things she's been through. And I'm not gonna get into details because of course that would spoil things, but I'm just gonna say there are things about her past and her relationship with her mummy that makes you understand that she is the way that she is. So I can respect that, and it makes me understand her more. I'm not in love with Eleanor at this point, but she's growing on me. And that's character growth in a nutshell for you. So I guess I just gave you a backdoor version of what character development is, and this is a good example of it, I guess. Eleanor has just always lived this sheltered, secluded life for herself, where she has the same schedule every single day, where she goes to work, she goes home. Fridays she has frozen pizza and drinks vodka, like a normal routine, and then watches television and then goes to bed. But now that she's met Raymond and Sammy, it's opening herself up to these new social experiences that she's never had to deal with before, and she doesn't really know what to do with herself. So it's very interesting to see her grow in that sense. One thing I'm still kind of uncomfortable with is her infatuation with this musician that she was trying to have become her boyfriend that I mentioned in my other vlog. It's not just that she has a crush on him and she wants to like get together with him. It's that she's essentially stalking him. She's checking his Twitter. She found out where he lives. Like, she visited his place. Didn't go in, but she knows where he lives, and she got all this information off the internet, and it really shows how scary it is, how easy people can find you online. And she's trying to find these different ways to accidentally bump into him, to have this natural first encounter, and it's really giving me stalkerish vibes. And that's the one gripe I still have with Eleanor, is the fact that she still doesn't know how to have a normal romantic relationship. And to an extent, again, I can understand because of her past, but at the same time, it's stalking. But that's where I'm at with my thoughts. I'll keep reading and I'll get back to you. Hey there, it is 12:09 in the morning and the stay home reading rush is officially over. I just, like 10 seconds ago, finished the audiobook of Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine, and even though I didn't finish it before midnight, it's pretty dang close, so I consider that a success. I'm gonna save what I thought about the book and my wrap-up of the stay home reading rush until tomorrow morning, because I'm really tired and I want to go to bed. But I just wanted to give you that update, and now I'm gonna go to sleep, so I'll talk to you in a few. Okay, let's get to the wrap-up. It's so pretty outside. Look at that glow, even with no makeup on. So let's get right into it. I started off the reading rush with Wilder Girls. Of course, I DNF'd it, but I read 38 pages. Then I started and finished Lock and Key Volume 1 by Joe Hill. I decided that this would complete the challenge of read a book with a house on the cover, as well as the challenge of read a book in the same room the whole time you were reading it. I read this on my couch. It was delicious. As I mentioned previously, it was a reread, and I just love this story so much. It's really about grief and growing up and all the things that go along with it. Really, really great book, and of course I gave it 5 stars. And lastly, I completed Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine by Gail Honeyman. I listened to the audiobook of this, and if you are to read this book, I think the audiobook is the way to go. It was really enjoyable, especially since it took place in Scotland and the narrator just did such a good job with the accents and such. So my thoughts on this book as a whole, gave it 4 stars on Goodreads, but in actuality I think I'd give it more of a 3.75. Goodreads really needs to get on the half-star system. Overall, I thought the story was really interesting and enjoyable, and I'm using all of the same adjectives again. I think the plot twist was great at the end. I kind of saw it coming. I've seen that a lot of people who've read this book have said that the premise was misleading to the tone of the book. A lot of people going into it based off the summary of the book was that it was going to be this light, quirky, fun read, when in actuality that was not the case. There's a really serious and dark undertone to it, dealing with matters of self-harm and depression and abuse. So if you're looking for a book right now to keep you happy and a book that will uplift you, I don't think this is the book for you, even though there was a semi-happy ending at the end of the book. I just thought it wasn't what I was expecting based off of what I read on the back of the book. I'm not going to get more detail besides that because I know I'm going to mess up and give another spoiler, so I'm just going to end that there. 3.75 stars. And this completed the challenges of read a book that would make you smile, even though it wasn't often. It did make me smile at times. And read a book that features a place you've always wanted to go, aka Scotland. As for my stats, I read a total of 2 books, 1 paperback book, and 1 comic book. In total, I read 542 pages. That is the completion of the stay home reading rush. I had a really great time. Kept my mind busy for a few days, even if I wasn't the best at keeping track of vlogging and reading and such. That being said, I'm gonna go. I will see you sooner rather than later with a new video. Bye!